Hi guys, so today is the 16th of August 2023 and this is the day I want to apply for my UK visa. I don't know when it will be out, but the website says the decision is made within 3 weeks. So here with me, I want to start doing the application, and there are a couple of documents that are required before you submit this application. So first of all, of course, you need your passport, you need your bank statement, you need your certificates, you need for people who've not done English or properly, you need to show your English certificate, maybe if it's IELTS or TOEFL, whatever it is. So for me, since I'm from Kenya, I don't need all those documents. I mean, especially the language, because our Kenya National Examination Council NEC certificate, KCSE, the one for high school, is sufficient for you to qualify you at the English level of requirements in terms of questions. So for me, that is where I stand. And now I am starting the application. So help me God. So I'll proceed down there, and it says start now. So by the time you'll be watching this video, I'll be far away in Europe already. Yeah, so let's get down and do this. Start now. So guys, give me a few minutes, I finish, or an hour, I finish this application, then I'll be updating you step by step as to where I am. Okay. So guys, after starting your application, the next thing you do is the stage 2 is where you now fill all the information, including personal information. If you've gotten any scholarship, that is Chevening or Marshall, if you have any sponsor, there you go, personal information. They will ask you about your address, where you stay, and then also of importance to note, you also give details about your passport. Yes, personal information. English language, you need to prove, like I told you. Dependents, if you are going with any dependents, and then your parents' details, mother, father, if you have them. If you have family in the UK, you also need to declare. Also of importance is your travel information. If you know where you're going to stay in the UK, you also need to give your accommodation details, like where you will be staying. Like for me, I'll be staying in school. Then you also give your travel history, if you've ever been to the UK, and if you've ever been to countries like Australia, Canada, New Zealand, USA, Switzerland, and the European Union. You give your travel information, just like that, you know. And then you feel about your conviction, if you've ever been convicted, if you've ever participated in war crimes or extremism, you know, things like that. That's what they're asking in number 2. Number 2 is what is carrying a lot of questions, you know, just things like that. And then your employment, if you've ever your employment is if you've ever worked here, they want just to know if you've worked in the military, if you've ever worked in the judiciary. Let's say if you have been a magistrate or judge, you need to declare. If you've been in the intelligence service, those are things you need to declare. And then if you have a sponsor who is going to who is sponsoring your going to the UK. So for me, my sponsor is the university itself that I'm going to. That's who will be representing you in the UK. And then you also need to give the course details, the name of your course and all that. And then ATAS details, just to provide a certificate if you're going to do courses that, like for example, courses that require perhaps maybe using ammunition, military intelligence and all that. And then your course details there. That is my course. I'm going to do international trade and economic law. It's starting on the 18th of September, ending on the 30th of September 2024. And then also, you know, needed to declare if you've paid any money. I've already paid a deposit of my accommodation, which is £250. And then you also need to state how much you've paid in terms of your school fees. I've already paid £6,000. £6,000. I don't know how much that is in Kenyan shillings. Maybe perhaps 1.3 million thereabout. And then some of the documents you have, and then there you go, extra information, then you continue. So that is number 2 of the application. Number 1, it was just about personal information and all that. And as you can see, I've already finished the start. I'm coming to the application. This one I've finished, so I'm going to number 3 about documents. Let's see what documents they are asking us. So on the documents, the first thing, of course, they definitely want to know is if you have enough funds in your account. And in this case, what they need proof of is a bank statement that will show whatever you're stating that you have money. So at this point, I will just declare that I have funds through a bank statement that has to be money has to be at least be in the account for 28 days, not more. Hi guys again. So everything went well. I already paid my insurance. So let me tell you people something that happened. I thought the insurance was 470 pounds, but it has been increased to 470 pounds was an equivalent of about 85,000, but it has been increased to $929. That is about 133,000. So these things you need to confirm before coming to pay. And also but the visa charges, at least they have remained. It's for $779. That is an equivalent of about 363 pounds, and in Kenya shillings this is about 66, let's say about 68,000, 65,000 thereabout. So this is what I'm paying now. Now I am at the stage of paying for my visa fee. Sorry, I did not record when I was paying for my what is it called, IHS, which is the insurance health surcharge. But the next thing now after that is you pay for the visa. This is where I am, so help me God. So I'm using the M-Pesa Global Pay that brings you to World Pay. So after putting your card details and all that, it will send you OTP code. This code you will have to put it here, so that the amount from your M-Pesa can be deducted. So Global Pay is good because, and it's very safe. Someone cannot steal from you. Even when someone has details of your card, it keeps changing the CVC number. Anytime you do a transaction, it's not permanent like the other debit and credit cards. So the CVC numbers keeps changing per transaction. And also, when you're doing the transaction, it has to send you a OTP code that you will put here. So the code comes to your phone. So this is a very safe way of transacting. So yes guys, that is it. So I need to put that, then the money will be deducted from my M-Pesa. Hi guys, so at this point I've already paid for my health insurance, and the next thing remaining is I've paid for my health insurance. I've already paid for my visa cost. So the next thing is for me to book for biometrics. Biometrics is at this point when I'm going to upload all my documents. That is my passport, my bank statement, my certificates, and my tuberculosis test. And then I'll also book a date when I'll be going to take my fingerprints and take my passport photo. So that is it. Yeah, I need to now proceed from here, guys. Hi guys, how you doing? So it's a good morning. Today is when is today? 23rd of August 2023. And today, so I already did my visa application and everything. So I was given this day for my biometrics. So for the biometrics, you just go to the embassy or the consulate. So it's at 9 West in Westlands. So that's where you go do your fingerprints and they take your picture. Then you will leave your passport there. So after leaving your passport there, after they do their biometrics, then when it's ready, they will call you with a decision whether you've gotten the visa or not. Yeah, so let's get to Westlands. Hi guys, how you doing? Thank you so much for always subscribing. So I've just gotten back and from the visa center, or from Westlands, and what we were doing there basically is clearly I started my visa application. I went in the morning for my biometrics, and the process is, after you finish your your visa application online, you even if you submit your application, you are not done with the visa process until you go do your biometrics. What do they mean by biometric? Biometric simply means they take your fingerprints, and they also take a photo of you, and then there's also a camera on top looking at you. So you look at that camera and you say your name and your date of birth. So that is actually what happens in Westlands. So after I got there, the first thing is, so at the visa stage, at the application stage, after you go to the completion, the final tasks, you can either choose for self-service, that is at Westlands at TLS, or you can choose for assisted services. What do they mean by self-service? Self-service, when you choose that option, it means you will upload your own documents from home or from wherever, so that when you get to that center, you don't have to go through the process of uploading. Why did I choose self-service? I chose self-service because for for assisted service, it means when you don't upload anything from home. You just get to Westlands and you give the assistant officers there, who will help you now to upload your documents, or rather they'll give you a machine and then they will assist you to upload the documents. So I chose for self-service because, number one, for the assisted services, the earliest date I was getting was the 28th of August, which is next week, Monday. And that would have been very late for me, considering my classes are starting on the 18th of September, and you do not even know when you will get your visa. However, they say within 3 weeks. So I wanted to be on time. That was reason number one. Reason number two is when you do the application, when you choose the assisted service, they charge you 4,000 shillings. It's 3,000, I think 800 or 900 or something, but basically it's about 4,000 shillings. Right now I'm trying to save on every shilling because this process has been very, very, very expensive. I'll discuss everything, every coin that I've spent in this whole process, but that process has been very expensive, and the more money I save, because where I'm going to use a lot of money, and the shilling is weaker than the pound. So I'm here to save money. I'm not here to throw away money. So I chose for the self-service, and I had to upload my documents. What documents are you uploading at this point? So at the end of your application stage, they send you your application form and your checklist. The checklist shows you the kind of documents you need to upload. Everybody has their own checklist depending on the type of application they have had or whatever they have submitted. So for me, what they asked me, of course, was my passport. That cuts across on everyone. Number two, they asked me for my CAS. CAS is the confirmation of acceptance of studies. That CAS you're given by your university. It is your sponsor to the United Kingdom. You cannot be going as a student without a CAS. It's like, for example, someone going as an employee, you need to have your letter of employment from the person who is going to give you employment. So in this case, if you're going as a student, your sponsor in the United Kingdom is your university, and they need to give you a sponsorship letter. In this case, the sponsorship letter is the CAS, confirmation of acceptance of studies. So that is the document number two you need to upload. We say the passport, the CAS. Then number three, of course, you need to upload your academic qualifications. So for me, I uploaded my KCSE certificate, Kenya Secondary School Education Certificate. That one is for Kenyans, it stands in for IELTS and for English test, because you see it shows that you did English to a certain level, so you don't need to do the IELTS and the TOEFLs, especially if you're going for postgraduate. Yeah, only if you prove that you did that and you have, I think, a grade above B+, B, I'll find out about that. But if you have something above B, I think that is sufficient. And then something else also, of course, I am going to do a master's in law, international trade and economic law. What I need to show that I have a background in law. So I had to submit my degree certificate, my bachelor's of law degree certificate. I uploaded that. And then finally on the academic qualifications, I think basically that. And then now after the academic qualifications, you come to the financial documents. Number one, you need to show that you have sufficient funds before getting to the United Kingdom. So what is the proof? Bank statement. So as for me, I had a joint account with my mom, so that's what we used. If you have a joint account, then basically you will need a consent from the other signatory to show that they're also allowing you to use your funds, because you share the funds, because you're both signatories. But if I wasn't sharing an account with my mom, if it was just my account, I wouldn't need a consent letter. Yeah, so I have I uploaded now my mom's consent letter stating that, of course, she's aware that I am using those funds, and those funds have been set aside for my education purposes and all that, and that we are both owners of that, the money in that account. Number 3, I will also tell you about ways of how to raise money or funding for you to, in terms of statements, bank statements, whatever can be used and whatever cannot be used. I'll do that in a different video. Yes, so besides that, you need a bank letter, a letter from the bank stating that you are their customer, and the money that you've stated in the statement actually is in the account. And the bank should also state where your branch is, the branch bank code, and all those kind of things. Finally, as for me, I also had to upload an affidavit, because my mom's names were a little bit different in that in my bank statement, in the bank statement, it's her name, her middle name, and her maiden names. But in my birth certificate, it's her name and my father's name. So we did not want to go through the stress of getting of course, we didn't marriage certificate and all that. So all we did was we got an affidavit to support the application, to state that the name on the bank statement and the name on the bank certificate is one and the same. Birth certificate is one and the same person. So that's all for the bank financial documents. After the financial documents, one of the other things that I was required to upload was proof of accommodation. Have you paid for accommodation in the United Kingdom? They don't want you to go start looking miserable and desperate. You don't even know where to go. People can sleep. I hear people sleep outside. If you do not make proper arrangements about your accommodation, you will find yourself sleeping under the bridges and all that. So you need to prove to the Home Office that you have secured accommodation. How do you prove this? You need to prove by, if you made a payment, you need to upload a payment receipt. So as for me, I did a deposit payment, a deposit for my accommodation. So I'll be staying in uni accommodation, because I thought, this is a new country, this is a new city, I don't know anyone. I didn't want the hassle of looking for accommodation everywhere. And for you who know much about the United Kingdom, you know that Bristol is a very busy city, and it's so hard to get accommodation in Bristol. So I didn't want to go through the pressure of looking for accommodation in a new city. So I just opted to get school accommodation. So I had already paid. The school had asked everybody who had gotten an offer for accommodation to pay a deposit of £250. £250 currently, I think it's about 45,000 Kenyan shillings or 46,000 Kenyan shillings, thereabout, depending on the exchange rate. Yeah. So that I had already paid the deposit. So what you do is you print the confirmation email, because they don't send a receipt, they just send you an email to say that you've paid for accommodation. So you print that confirmation email, and then they also send you a lease agreement. A lease agreement giving you is the terms of payment. So it's you to choose how you're going to pay your rent. It's either you can choose monthly payments or in installments. So for installments, they give you 3 installments. For the first installment, I need to pay by 1st of October, the other installments 1st of February, and then the final installment by 1st of May. Yeah, so I thought that was easier, because once you pay for the first installment, you forget for a couple of months. Before then, you think about paying rent again. So I chose that. So for proof of accommodation, I uploaded two slips, that is the lease agreement and the payment receipt, confirmation of payment. So I uploaded that. And then we also come to, when you're going to the United Kingdom from certain countries, like for instance, now I come from Kenya, you need to have done a tuberculosis test. Yeah. So there's a video I did about the process of getting the tuberculosis certificate from the IDP in Gigiri. That's where it's done. So you can watch that if you've not watched, and follow how you go about it and all that. So you need to also upload that certificate, the tuberculosis certificate. That certificate is usually valid for 6 months. So do not go for it if you know you're not traveling within 6 months, so that it is valid. You understand? Yeah. So that is also another important document that you upload. And what else have I forgotten? And then sometimes you also need to upload other supporting documents that you think they will boost your application. Depending on where you feel there is a problem, upload as many documents as you feel, so that to just to support your application. I don't think at this point I've forgotten anything. So at the self service, I uploaded all those things on my own. But for someone who chooses assisted services, it means they will not upload those things from home. It means when you get to TLS Center in Westlands, you will be assisted to upload your documents, and that takes a long okay, it's always good to be assisted if you have the money, but I did not want to put money on something that I can do on my own. So I just did everything now yesterday. Then I kept on cross-checking to confirm that everything is all right, and I think I am good to go. I think everything is so fine. So yeah. So on arrival at TLS, the first thing you do is if you saw me somewhere up, there's somewhere showing me with a green bag. They give you a green bag. So that green bag, they put your passport, and you also need to submit your checklist to show that you have uploaded everything. So they will take the first leaflet of the checklist that shows now what you need to prove to upload. Then they will put in the green bag. Then they will send you now to the biometrics. So at the other room where you go, you meet a customer service assistant who will take your passport, and they will scan your passport. Then they will give you, just a minute. Yeah, so after they scan your passport, they will give you this. This is a SIM card that you will use when you get to the United Kingdom. So they give you a SIM card because normally they say when you arrive in the UK, it will save you the stress, because the Kenyan number will not work there. So you start going through trouble. Maybe you want to book an Uber when maybe you are not able to connect to their Wi-Fi. So when you have this SIM card, it saves you the trouble of trying, like, it gives you an easier time when you arrive in Britain, in the United Kingdom. So they gave me this SIM card, and they say it's supposed to be £10, but here it says it's free, and it's free for 1 month. Then the preceding months you're supposed to pay for it. I will clarify that, but so far that's what is written here. And then here it says get 50% off online for the second month. It just has some things here that is showing. Yeah, so that's all from there. And then they give you this document. So this document is what you will use. I had just given my signature. Is what you will use when you come to collect your passport. When your visa is ready and you've been given your visa, you will come with this document to pick your passport. So this is what they gave me. And then from there, after you receive these two things, the next thing now is you go for your biometrics. You wait at the at the lounge. Then they will call your number. Everybody has a special number. and mine is it's okay. This paper is very small font, and I don't see well. So there's a number you are given that starts with a G. Yeah, so you wait to be called, but they read the last three numbers. So my last three numbers was 710. So when you hear your number being called, you enter the room where they're doing the biometrics, and they will just take your fingerprints now. They start with this 4. They tell you to put 4 fingers, both hands. Then you do another batch, the thumbs. Then you look up and now say your name and your date of birth. There's a camera there picking that. I think that's for picking also your voice and all that. And then finally, as you're seated, the way I'm just seated like this, there's a camera in front of you. You look at the camera, it takes your picture, and you're good to go. You leave your passport at that stage, and that's the whole story about getting your passport. I mean, that is your final stage of your visa application. And then the next stage is now you go back to your portal, to the TLS portal, TLS or TSL portal. Now you start tracking your visa. It shows you stages. Like now for me, as of today, it's showing me biometrics done. It has, I think, about 5 stages. It shows you how far your application is. So when your passport, your visa is almost ready, it will show you when to now collect your passport. So wish me luck, guys, because anyway, actually by the time you'll be watching this video, I will be very, very far away in the